Shalom, and welcome to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button and to subscribe, and of course, most importantly, to share this wisdom and inspiration with friends and family. So if you look in the book of Exodus, chapter 35, this begins, the last chapters of the book of Exodus describe the actual implementation of something which we have already studied a number of chapters ago, and that is the commandment of God. God told Moses, describe to him in detail exactly how they're going to build a tabernacle. Here comes the phase where, quote, it says, Moses then he convened, he gathered the whole entire congregation of the children of Israel, and he spoke to them, and he told them about the construction, about the establishment of this holy edifice, a place where God will rest his holy presence. Why did he have to gather everyone together? We know that as Moses taught the Israelites throughout the 40 years, he didn't gather all the people together all the time. It would be almost impossible and something which would not have been sustainable. You see, they numbered several million people. This was a nation. This was an entire, like a little country traveling together. There was no way, and certainly no reason, to gather them each and every time to tell them a new commandment or to teach them a new insight. Rather, there was a process, there was a system that was set up, if you recall, when they appointed the judges/teachers who were responsible in disseminating the knowledge. It started from the top. Moses taught the people on the top, the elders. There's a whole process in it, and this is not the place to get into it. And they would then teach it to the others, who taught it to the others, and that's how it became disseminated, and it spread the knowledge of the new commandment, or the new insight, or the new teaching was spread throughout the entire nation, the children of Israel. It all trickled all the way back down to the bottom. But there was some special occasions, certain instances where Moses gathered all the people. This is one of them. And of course, we need to understand why. And by understanding why, we'll be able to glean from it a wonderful lesson in our lives when it comes to our service of God, when it comes for us doing that which we really want to do, and that's making the world a better place through following the commandments of God. You see, Moses gathers the people. Just if you use your imagination, what it took to bring together millions of people to one place, and now Moses is going to speak to all of them. That in itself is no small miracle. He does it because Moses knows that what they're about to do, namely to build a holy edifice, to build a temple in which God's presence will dwell, this requires a unique, a special phenomenon. This requires something unique, a tremendously unique ingredient, which is the key ingredient in bringing God's presence, and that is gathering everyone together. Bringing everyone together, from the wisest to the simplest, from the holiest to the regular person. I wouldn't call it a person mundane, but from the holiest to perhaps the simpleton, and so on and so forth. You see, because when it comes to bringing God's presence down, to becoming aware and feeling the holiness of God's presence, the only way to do it is through unity, through people coming together. Now, not the unity or the so-called unity that society today so much suffers from. And that is where people believe, they have this notion that in order for us to be unified, you have to somewhat compromise on your principles. You have to change the way you think because I don't agree with the way you think. That's not what happened here. Moses didn't gather the people and tell all of them, listen, throw away your thoughts, throw away your individuality, become, melted in or lost, totally lost into the whole collective, and then we can all build this tabernacle together. That's not what he did. He gathered all the people, But by bringing them all together with all the diversity, with all the difference of opinion, with all the various customs and so on and so forth. Remember, each one was from a different tribe. There was men, there were women, there were children. They're not meant to all think alike, but they could come together. And when they came together, it became one whole congregation, one whole unit, one whole unified front. Once that happened, now they can go about implementing God's will in making a holy edifice in this world, down here in the mundane world, and bringing the holiness of it. And this teaches us something. If you really want to feel God, if you really want to get close to God, you want to serve God, you want to feel God's presence, unity, bringing people together. Of course, we all have differences. That's the way it's meant to be. We're not all meant to think alike. We're meant not to think alike. But notwithstanding the fact that we don't think alike, or perhaps because we don't think alike, we can complement each other. We can get together. Remember, the joy of putting a puzzle together, and that's why the more pieces in the puzzle, the more expensive the puzzle typically is because, and the more challenging it is, and therefore the more enjoyable it is because there are so many different pieces, and because they're not all the same. Each one is a unique individual piece, which contributes to the entire picture, to the wholesomeness, to the wholeness of the collective. And that's should be our approach in serving God.